Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. When we think of Jesus, we often picture him as an adult performing miracles, teaching crowds, and walking with his disciples. But have you ever wondered what he was like as a child? Today, we're going to dive into a truly remarkable story, a glimpse into the early life of Jesus that shows his extraordinary wisdom and purpose even at the tender age of 12. It all begins with a family trip. Every year, Mary and Joseph would travel from their home in Nazareth to Jerusalem for the great festival of the Passover. This was a huge event, a time of celebration and remembrance. When Jesus turned 12, he joined them on this important journey. Imagine the scene: dusty roads filled with families, friends, and neighbors, all heading to the holy city. The air would have been buzzing with excitement, songs, and prayers. After the week-long festival concluded, the crowds began their journey home. Mary and Joseph, probably traveling with a large group of relatives and friends from their town, assumed Jesus was somewhere in the caravan. In those days, it was common for kids to run and play with their cousins and friends within the traveling group. So, for a whole day, they traveled onward, not realizing he wasn't with them. It's only when they stopped for the night that the panic set in. They looked for Jesus among their relatives and acquaintances, but he was nowhere to be found. Can you imagine their fear? Their son was missing in a massive, sprawling region. Without a second thought, they turned right back around and hurried back to Jerusalem, their hearts heavy with worrying, searching for their lost son. For 3 agonizing days, they searched the bustling city of Jerusalem. They looked everywhere, in the crowded streets, the marketplaces, asking everyone they met. Finally, exhausted and losing hope, they went to the one place they hadn't thought to look for a 12-year-old, the temple courts. And there he was, not lost, not scared, but sitting calmly in the middle of the most learned religious teachers and scholars of the time. He wasn't just sitting there quietly either. The Bible tells us he was listening to them and asking them questions. And everyone who heard him was amazed at his understanding and his answers. This 12-year-old boy was engaging in deep theological discussions with the greatest minds of his nation, and he was holding his own. When Mary and Joseph saw him, they were overwhelmed with a mix of relief and astonishment. Mary said what any worried mother would say, "Son, why have you treated us like this? Your father and I have been anxiously searching for you." Jesus' reply is what makes this story so profound. He looked at them and said, "Why were you searching for me? Didn't you know I had to be in my Father's house?" It was the first recorded instance of Jesus speaking of God as his Father. Even at 12, he had a clear sense of his identity and his divine mission. He wasn't being disobedient. He was simply being true to who he was. This single event gives us an incredible insight into the heart and mind of the young Jesus. It shows that his divine nature and wisdom weren't things that just appeared when he was an adult. They were part of him from the very beginning. It's a beautiful reminder that purpose can be found at any age. Thanks so much for joining me for this story today. If you found it as fascinating as I do, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. See you in the next video.